Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're going to get into the Streamline messages. Thank you very much for all your replies. Atlantic Blue says, what date was this bizarre photo taken? I reckon it was in June when they went over there for maybe Jay's 1 year anniversary as missing and obviously being found and alive. And I believe it was possibly to start documentaries over there. That's my view of that, Atlantic Blues. We just check the recording. And then we move on to officially Kerry George. I've said this since day one. I heard Brad not bag on the beach. I could hear Lucy shouting Brad apartment and boat in Spanish. That's very, very interesting stuff because obviously Lucy, had been out there while Lincoln speaks some Spanish as well. And you could be 100% right there in what you're saying. Officially, Kerry George says also it was definitely a boxer. Maybe Brad was just a spectator. Interesting stuff at the end of the day. And like I said, we always saw Rocky as a bit of an enforcer in this case. Thank you, Kerry. Joe Jones goes on to say there's definitely a lot more to come, Marvin. A lot more. Just wish Wax would jump back on board as well. I think he will do if if there's information that comes out which tells us something different in obviously how Jay died. The blame game, no, I don't think so. I've seen footage on the beach, and where could you see someone raise weapon? They looked too big to be Brad. But do you know what? The blame game, there were so many videos out there in those early days on the beach footage, at least 4 or 5 I came across in early days, and the main ones did get deleted. In one of the early ones, I thought Brad was definitely on the beach or one of the guys, but Lucy was definitely there, 100%. Janet Fraser, justice for Jay, yes, at the end of the day. And what we're doing, Janet, is just putting messages out there because, like I said, these people are still out there, and it could be done to them. Mike Jace, we can buy the evidence for them. That's from them. That's very, very true. That's very, very true. Just to get the truth, I think this will probably blow the case wide open. It's like I said, I will talk to Ali Harris about that, see what she says. From the behaviour of the players, Myrna, I have been wondering whether the young man is alive and that we are looking at a life insurance scam. This is no scientific evidence of a death. Do you know what? So many people, the back end of last year, were saying basically, don't be surprised if he's still alive and he started a new life. We hear many people do that at the end of the day. And when you look at people's background and what they do, I wouldn't put it past them. I put nothing past in this case. Moles said interesting. Bonnie says, why would Brad stab Jay? This is just rubbish. It's not, Bonnie, to be honest with you, because like I said, if he was forced to do it under duress or basically his life was going to go because of something being lost, anything is possible. To be honest with you, I don't think he did do it, but that is a possibility, to be honest with you. Yes, 70p, unless he was basically to do it under duress, but yes, it does seem ridiculous. Dave Fletcher said, be nice if we could hear you, Marvin. The volume's really up there as best it can be. Tenerife, total drug haven, alert your children and cancel music venues out there. Brilliant one from K Dungs. I think Rocky might be the first one to say something really incriminating in his efforts to stay relevant. He just can't help himself. Ayub asked me to pay him for an interview today on TikTok. They're getting a bit desperate. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. At the end of the day, they're still looking in. They're still wondering what is going on at the end of the day. And all we want to do is basically is basically find the truth into really what happened to Jay Slater at the end of it, and to save our other youngsters going out there. What if someone we knew, a family friend or a family member, went out there and these horrible things started to happen to them? You would actually think, oh my God. At the end of the day, not again. At the end of the day, and don't remember. We've got to remember, not one of these people have been arrested. At the end of the day, yes, some of them have previous, like Ayub, Rocky, and stuff like that. But like I said, for Lucy, Brad, and Brandon, they need to be very, very careful because their names are put out there. Do you know what I mean? And people will be watching them, and I think the UK police will be watching them as well. Thank you very much, official Kerry George. Brilliant Joe Jones. Blame Game, nice to hear from you. Janet Fraser, Mike Jakes, great point there. Mona Kroom, thank you for being a full member. Moles, Bonnie, Serendipity, good to hear from you all. Dave Fletcher, Steve Upton, Duncan, as usual, great messages. Molly, Anita Hornsby, Izzy Stevenson, Muscle Joe, Madeline Post, Jean Carson, thank you very much. Debbie, good to hear from you. PJM and B Anchor. Good points from you all. Like I said, if anything does come up, I will put it out there on the Jay Slater case. Take care of yourself, people, and look after yourself. Thank you. Have a good day.